we were discussing mind management and the techniques of mind management. So, a lot of points I have put on a PPT. We will just discuss that and then we will go into one more technique which you will actually practice. See, these are basic techniques to control thoughts. Please see the slide I have put in front of you. See, one thought involves three things. There is usually an idea, an emotion associated with it, and vital energy, which is what is enlivening the thought. So, to control one thought, what are the different factors? First of all, you know, I told you the inlet for your mind is your exposures. You are generally thinking about what you have been seeing and hearing. आज आप एक movie देख लो, for the next week you will keep on thinking about that. So, the right exposures will give you the right thoughts. So, इसको आहार कहते हैं. In Upanishads also this is there. आहार शुद्धो सत्व शुद्धि. इसका मतलब है अच्छा आहार लो, आँखों के द्वारा जो लेते हो वो भी आहार है, कान के द्वारा जो लेते हो वो भी आहार है. Everything is आहार, not just what you eat. So, if you eat good food, you will have good health, good nutrition, good mind. This is what they are saying. Then rhythmic breathing and posture. I told you, if you breathe properly, your mind will come into your hands. Right? These are all methods, please see. And posture, you maintain the correct postures. If you droop, naturally you will feel sluggish. नींद आ जाती है थोड़ी देर के बाद. Then you have right conduct. Why? You know, your external behavior, how you handle your body language, all this impacts your mind. So, to a certain extent all of this, इसीलिए तो conduct पर इतना कुछ है ना हमारे कल्चर में, कैसे behave करना चाहिए एक क्लासरूम में, एक टीचर के सामने, पेरेंट्स के सामने, with your friends how. Why all these codes of conduct are there? Because ultimately it's going to impact your own mind. If you behave anyhow, think anyhow, dress anyhow, well, you live in anyhow. So, take care of this, that is the thing. Then Pratipaksha Bhavana. This is an important point which comes in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. इसको आज के science में cognitive reframing कहते हैं. This part of neuroscience today, which means you can replace thoughts. Bring in opposite and noble thought currents. Whenever you are in negativity, you can replace that thought consciously. अगर रोना आ रहा है अब, for some reason you are feeling very bad and you are feeling like crying, immediately you must try to switch that thought to something positive in your life. अच्छी बातों को सोचना. Think of the good times in your life. Think of being grateful to somebody in your life. Think of the bounties of your life. You can do this consciously. Only when the mind is gripped in too much negativity, Pratipaksha Bhavana becomes difficult. Because you are carried away by your depression, and you know, depression, actually the heart of it is everybody is against me. Life is against me. Why should anybody be against you? Your own mind is against you. उसको wrongly condition करने से ऐसी हालत हो जाती है ultimately. I told you toxic thoughts, negative emotions, low energies and depression. This is the scheme in yoga. Toxic thoughts क्या है? What are toxic thoughts? You know, ये जो षड्रिपु कहते हैं ना, these are toxic thoughts. इसका मतलब है, see the 6 enemies of man. हमारे कल्चर में ऐसे दिया गया है, काम, क्रोध, मद, लोभ, मोह, मात्सर्य. काम is lust, passion. क्रोध, anger. मद, pride, meaningless pride. मद, लोभ, मोह, delusion. मात्सर्य, jealousy. काम, क्रोध, मद, लोभ. लोभ is greed. So, these group of thoughts, you check your thought life and see. These group of thoughts will put you into this sequence. It will generate all sorts of emotions, finally low energy, depression. So, इसी को षड्रिपु कहा गया है in this culture. that they are the enemies of man. Finally, they will put you into a state of stupor, जिसको bypass करने के लिए, जिसको to come out of which you have to really struggle. So take care initially only. Pratipaksha bhavana is the method to take care, which means cognitively you are reframing. अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, you will read good things, you will talk good things, so that you have reframed the mental state. So you please practice this whenever you are in negativity. Don't dwell on silly negative ideas. I told you, what you repeatedly think, you will become. What you repeatedly feel, you will start experiencing it. And what you repeatedly imagine, you will create. ये है आपका माइंड का कैपेसिटी. आपकी माइंड की कैपेसिटी ऐसी है, इतनी विराट है. So don't waste that mental energy on silly thought, for heaven's sake. You know, you actually don't require anybody to support you or talk good of you if your mind is talking good about you. If your mind is happy and healthy and positive, you don't require anybody's support or anybody's nod for your life. But if your own mind is guilty, negatively conditioned, you require the help of hundreds of people to, just to have a good life. मन की ये कैपेसिटी होती है, what you repeatedly think, you will become that. So you must, these are real magical techniques for your life. यहाँ पर मुझे सुनना नहीं है किसी को डिप्रेशन हो गया, किसी को सुइसाइडल टेंडेंसीज है. This should not happen here. Then regulated lifestyle and habits. See, थोड़ा बहुत life regulation ज़रूरी है, because every day if you are doing things at different times, your mind will not get used to anything. इसीलिए ये regulated lifestyle दिया गया है. इसका मतलब है for as much as possible try to wake up at the same time every day. I know आप लोग सब 3 बजे तक काम करते हो रात को. That I know very well. All the labs are open here. But suppose you are getting up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Every day get up at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. We always advise the Brahma Muhurt, ये सब हम बोलते हैं. लेकिन कितने लोग ये कर सकते हैं? Especially at this time. It is difficult for you, I can understand that. Brahma Muhurt क्या चीज़ है पता है? 1 hour 36 minutes before sunrise is called Brahma Muhurt. It's a very powerful time where your thought naturally gets subdued and awareness comes to the forefront. अपने आप होता है ये. If you have practiced, लेकिन उस समय तो आप एकदम iCloud पे रहते हो ना. So later on in life, once you pass out of this phase, this is just a phase. You should practice these things and see for yourself. Very powerful time that is. So if you can get up at that time and even at dawn, it is wonderful. उसके जैसी कोई चीज़ नहीं है. लेकिन अगर नहीं हो सके तो at least get up at the same time daily, and everything you're eating, sleeping, studying, all that, if it is at the same time every day, your mind will get used to it. तो वो एक regulated lifestyle हो जाती है. This is what I'm trying to say. So that's why sattvic habits are important to do all this. रोज अगर fast food पे चलो, do you do that? Then you can't do all this, I'm telling you, because the body will not behave as it should. Have healthy food as much as possible. कभी कभी एक थोड़ा कुछ बर्गर खा लिया ठीक है, लेकिन not everyday basis. And regulated lifestyle. Try to do this. Then have a noble self-image. अपने बारे में ही अच्छा ही सोचना चाहिए. अच्छा ही सोचते हैं सभी, but people who go into deep depression, they even develop a wrong self-image. मैं हूँ ही ऐसा इसलिए nobody wants me. Don't do all this. It's meaningless, I'm telling you. If your mind is working for you, even if the whole world is not working for you, it won't matter. This is the power of your mind. You require only one person to think good of yourself. You know who? You should be thinking good of yourself, which means you are free from guilt, you are free from fear, you are free from anything. If your mind is working for you, nothing else matters. So, मेरे friend ने मैं अच्छा नहीं बोला मेरे बारे में, all this, don't go into all this silliness. Then higher impulses counteract lower ones. That is why you must get used to this. Make service a habit. जो पिछले कोर्सेस यहाँ पर हुए ना, एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिकल में वो था, दे हैड टू गो एंड डू सर्विस एक्टिविटीज़ राइट अराउंड आईआईटी. आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है, दैट डजंट मीन यू शुड नॉट डू. ट्राई टू बी ऑफ सर्विस टू अदर्स. आप देखोगे हाउ मच ग्लैडनेस कम्स इनटू योर माइंड. दिस इज द मीनिंग. Then meditation and prayer, all these things lift the mind naturally. Deep thinking and studies, ये करते हो? अभी तो बहुत, you are very busy. But every day if you read some elevating literature, विवेकानंद को पढ़ो 5 minutes, your mind will remain at a particular level. अच्छा लगेगा. And then mind affects mind, which means the company you keep also is important. किस तरह के दोस्त हैं? You know you are the mean product of the company you keep. So take care. Keep good company, mind will naturally behave well. फिर मैंने वो इक्वेशन दिया है यहाँ पर जो मैं बोल रही हूँ ना. रिमेंबर, टॉक्सिक थॉट्स लीड टू नेगेटिव इमोशंस. टॉक्सिक थॉट्स हैं ये षड्रिपु. And this will lead to low energy and depression. You will feel it immediately in your system. So take care of all these factors. फिर understanding stress. This is the only problem I want to dwell upon a little because it is practical problem for all of you. Stress का मतलब है over anxiety in the entire system, body mind mechanism. Body and mind are deeply related. Whatever happens to the body affects mind, what happens in the mind affects body. That's why many diseases are psychosomatic in nature, isn't it? Psych and soma. Soma is cells and the psyche. These two are very closely related. Now what happens in stress is your body will start showing symptoms and your mind is over anxious. So it becomes a state where you become depleted of energy. और ये जितना होता जाता है that much low energy mode you will function. So मन में वो चेहरे पे brightness भी नहीं है, मन में वो clarity भी नहीं है. Just I am stressed out हमेशा. So why is this happening? See, at the heart of it all is the negativity of your mind. The negativity of your mind. जमा के रखा है. इस पर anger, उस पर frustration, यहाँ पर you don't feel good about this person, वहाँ पर hatred, यहाँ jealousy, ये सब जमा के cumulative effect is stress. You are unable to handle your mental mechanism. That is why stress is building. See, I have put it here. All problems are due to negative attitudes and complexes in the mind. If your approach to life is only exploit करके किसी भी तरह ऊपर उठना है, negativity will come. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है you are not competitive. You are more than competitive, but you are good mind towards others, wishing well for others. You have a good will towards everyone, but no negativities towards anyone. This is the state of mind I am talking of. See, all of this can be resolved through effort. Your stress problems, stress and stress related. Stress की वजह से बहुत कुछ होता है system में. Insomnia, all different phases of depression, and you lose appetite for food and addictions. ये सब stress की वजह से होता है. So if you take care of this particular thing, this is stress management, you will take care of the rest. Negative emotions plus defensive attitude build a wrong value system in your mind which creates a complex. वो जहाँ वहाँ पर image में जो red blocks हैं ना, वो complexes हैं. See, in your subconscious, if there are strong negative complexes due to conditioned negative emotions, वो finally blocks बन जाते हैं आपके mind में. So example, वहाँ example दिया गया है, when you are preparing for an exam, psychological stress factors may be laziness, procrastination, inattention and anger, all bundled into a complex. And dishonesty, if you indulge in that, that will increase your stress also. So जितने complexes होंगे मन के subconscious में, उतना आपका stress factor बढ़ता जाएगा. So fundamentally the cause for stress is uncontrolled mind, not that person or your somebody who irritated you or your teacher or your boss, not all this. not the institute and not the government. The cause for your stress is you. इतने सारे सबकॉन्शियस में नेगेटिव कॉम्प्लेक्सेस है, यू आर अनेबल टू फंक्शन नॉर्मली and it builds up in the system, and finally you feel you just want to get out of this system. तो इसीलिए टेक केयर. इनिशियली आई टोल्ड यू पॉजिटिव हैबिट्स एवरीडे बेसिस में, बीइंग थैंकफुल, ग्रेटफुल, एप्रिशिएटिव ऑफ द एफर्ट्स ऑफ अदर्स, सर्विस माइंडेड, लविंग एंड काइंड, कंपैशनेट, ये फंडामेंटल है टू द गुड लाइफ एंड द गुड माइंड. देन देयर इज वन लास्ट थिंग हियर, स्ट्रेस एंड टाइम मैनेजमेंट के बारे में. जस्ट गो थ्रू दीज पॉइंट्स. लर्न टू रिलैक्स, एंड रिलैक्सेशन मीन्स काम, नॉट स्लीप. आई होप यू नो दैट. सिर्फ सोने से नहीं होता, माइंड काम होना चाहिए. कामनेस इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ अ नोबल माइंड, इजंट इट? कामनेस इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ अ नोबल माइंड. अगर अच्छा मन हो तो काम ही रहोगे. True inner calmness comes from honest hard work. So calm mind is equal to calm nerves is equal to success. A calm mind has plenty of time. देखा है? When mind is over busy, overactive and with all sorts of things, 10 tracks running, तब टाइम ही नहीं मिलता. काम माइंड को टाइम मिलता है हमेशा, जो उसको करना है वो कर सकता है. It is our restlessness that swallows time. Mind has limited cognitive capacity, so you utilize it best. ऐसे tracks बना दो सब positive, only positive will reign in the mind. Then plan your routine. Self-discipline and time management go together. I told you. Yoga and exercise, some method to calm the mind like meditation, breathing exercises, all this can be adopted. Then resolving your emotional complexes through right attitude. Very important. I told you pratipaksha bhavana, opposite emotion and thought has to be brought in whenever you are in negativity. Honesty is always the best policy, and positive attitudes have therapeutic effect. See, so many young people in other universities are going regularly to, अब वो psychological psychiatry cell है in some places. They go there regularly. क्यों? इतना stress handle नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो आपने ही तो build किया है वैसे. Then a positive outlook, appreciation and savoring. I already told you this. Gratefulness, contentment, simple living, high thinking principles. It will manufacture a good mind for you. और क्या चाहिए जीवन में? See, there is no substitute to a clean life. That is why honest, purposeful, pure and dedicated to high ideals. It keeps the body and mind healthy. That's the bottom line. अच्छा जीवन हो तो अच्छा मन हो तो naturally you will enjoy life. Happiness will be there in your life. So don't condition yourself wrongly. That is the whole point. Now I will go into your practice. Today we are going to practice the second part of this mindfulness, which is the pranayama, pratyahar and dharana technique. Come on, go back to your straight posture, asana. Each class one technique. See, last class you practiced pratyahar by concentrating on your breathing, right? So that time, for that few moments, your mind was withdrawn from all kinds of sense activity, from too much thought. It was withdrawn from that. Today you will go one step further. After practicing that, उसको छोड़ना नहीं है, उसके बाद ही ये step आता है. You will learn to maintain a continued thought process towards one thing. I will give you that also on what you have to maintain. But first, sit straight, chin mudra, just observe your breath. Initially you just have to see how things are going in my system. First minute. Yes, see, this whole system tones down, calms down once you start watching as a witness. Now I will introduce the second pranayam to you. एक प्राणायाम आपने ऑलरेडी सीखा है, अनुलोम विलोम. It is very easy. The next pranayam, which these are the only two you should know essentially, is the Brahmari pranayam, which immediately removes stress, because it gives you total, you are blocking off the senses and mind in this pranayam. It is very easy also, लेकिन आपको देखना पड़ेगा. आंखें खोलिए, all of you. Just see how this pranayam is done. It is a important tool to remove stress immediately. See, these are your fingers. We will use a special mudra for this pranayam. It is called Shanmukhi mudra. Shanmukhi mudra, which means you are closing 6 things with this. एक चीज है, you will put your thumbs in your ear. Put your forefinger on your forehead. Your middle finger on your eyes. The ring finger on your nose. And under that just place the small finger. This is Shanmukhi mudra. इसमें आप क्या कर रहे हो in this mudra? You are closing the ears to all sounds, and you are also closing the eyes to all external visual stimuli. You are blocking out, and you are placing the forefinger on the forehead, close to the eyebrow. So this mudra will naturally help you block out external stimulation, external stimuli, audio visual. After getting into Shanmukhi mudra, take a deep breath. See, with the ring finger you are not blocking or closing the nostril, you are just placing it on the nostril. Take in a deep breath, let it out with a humming sound like this. Good. This is the first cycle. You exhale with the humming sound. Again inhale, deep breath, again exhale with the humming sound. Just normal exhalation. Yes. Not so long. Just normal exhalation. Again inhale, 7 cycles. Exhale. Only exhalation, humming. Inhale. Exhale. Only exhalation, humming. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. एक्सेल. एक्सेल में हमिंग होना चाहिए. यस, हो गया. 7 cycles. See, remember that the last person sitting there, I don't know his name. Okay, let him complete. Only exhalation में हमिंग होना चाहिए, भ्रमर के जैसा हमिंग. not very loud, but इससे क्या होता है, your throat and upper respiratory tract, in a particular way it is expelling air. So you get completely de-stressed because your senses are closed and the upper respiratory tract is inhaling and expelling in a particular way. आप जब 7 cycles के बाद, if you watch your mind, you will see somehow it is free from all the silly engagement, the intense engagement with whatever negativity was there. So Brahmari pranayam is de-stressor, to remove stress. Stress management हम पढ़ रहे थे, उसके बारे में जान रहे थे. You must use this technique to remove stress. You remember only exhalation में sound आना चाहिए, inhalation में नहीं. Normal inhalation. Exhalation में so it will take no more than 7 to 8 seconds to exhale. You got it? So practice the technique correctly. Once you finish the 7 cycles, you can watch your mind and see somehow it is very clear, calm. वो जो stress factors थे, you have put down successfully because you closed your senses, and breath regulation was in a totally different way. Mind will become very calm. So immediate removal of stress to Brahmari pranayam. Now keep sitting in the chin mudra. We will continue. Then adopt the same pratyahar technique as last time. Just watch your breath. Senses are withdrawn, mind is withdrawn. Just watch your normal breathing. Check your mind and see how calm it has become. Now imagine a point of light in your heart. Imagine a point of light like a spark in your heart. This is the light of your awareness. Concentrate on this intensely. Make it a single track concentration. From your breath, your attention has shifted to the light in your heart. Imagine it intensely. It is shining, flooding your heart with positivity, with love, with kindness, compassion. It is the light of your awareness. It is the power that animates your personality. It is pure being. You are this light of awareness. Identify strongly with this light. See, when your dharana is intense like this, I can see you are doing it very well. Now you have generated the state of dharana. You can clearly check your breath and see how calm it has become, how long drawn out it has become. That is why dharana has come into the mind. See clearly how breath and mind are related. Concentrate on that spark of light which you are, and know you are the source of all strength, power, awareness, love. This is your real nature. You are pure awareness, shining in the heart. Slowly you will open your eyes. Very good. See, all of you have strongly identified with that spark, isn't it? That's why I felt a stillness in the room. Did you feel it? Remember this, that your awareness is you. Your mental modifications are yours, but they are not you. Are you getting what I am saying? Do you feel the reality of this? आपका जो awareness है, अभी आप उसको imagine कर रहे थे objectively in your heart, shining. That is the real you. लेकिन ये जो मन में जो उठता है, वृत्तियाँ उठती है, तरंग उठते हैं, that is yours, your thoughts, but they are not you. ये समझ में आ रहा है? Only by this dharana you can know it. Otherwise you always feel वो तरंग ही मैं हूँ. Are you sensing this? Is there any truth in what I am saying? See, the more dharana and dhyan you practice, the more you will understand this. See, somewhere I am aware of my thoughts, so I am not the thought. I am aware of the happenings in my mind, so I am not the mind. Mind is mind, functioning for me. But I am not mind. I am quite apart from it. तो ये चीज़ आनी चाहिए. You become mindful only when your attention comes to this level of understanding. Then mindfulness will reign. See, you are in the present moment, right? आप कहीं गए नहीं थे, यहीं पे थे, IIT में ही थे, यहीं इसी रूम में थे, लंदन नहीं गए थे, और attention was riveted, or awareness had come to the forefront. No thoughts, thought was subdued. Just you were imagining a spark of light and identified with it. It is the light of awareness. है ना? See, automatically all these things came to you. You have this capacity for deep calmness and pointed attention. Meditation will help you build this further. Otherwise you will fritter away your energies. क्योंकि हर ट्रैक जो रन करता है माइंड में, it can be about something different. So practice this. 2 टेक्निक्स दिए गए हैं, एक प्रत्याहार टेक्निक, एक धारणा टेक्निक. Very simple. You have to achieve the state of pratyahar to come to dharana. And dharana will be on a point of light in your heart, which is the light of your awareness. उसको हम ऑब्जेक्टिव कर रहे हैं, विजुअलाइज कर रहे हैं. Your own awareness. So you have put some distance between you and your thought. This is the way to generate mindfulness. Did you get it? Simple technique hai. So let's move on. Okay, after this, you gradually educate the mind along these lines. Mind should understand the value of this. See, Vivekananda used to say, to will rightly is education. Isn't it? जो संकल्प शक्ति है आप में, if it is in the right direction, then that is the fruit of your education. आपका संकल्प ही अगर खराब हो, what is the point of all this education? So, see that your will is oriented towards public good, towards making a huge contribution to our society, towards bringing welfare to others. तभी तो सार्थक होगा IIT का education, है ना? Tell me. Then Vivekananda also says education is the nervous connection of ideas. मैंने आपको association and conditioning के बारे में बताया. How you are associating ideas, that is again the product of the true education process. And education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. जो आपके अंदर जो आत्म शक्ति है, उसी का manifestation है the educational process. It is perfect. All, I told you, all strength and power is right within you. You have to bring it out. Information is not right within you, that you can collect through Google. But knowledge, wisdom and strength is right within you. Power is right within you. Consciousness is right within you. So थोड़ी थोड़ी ये ideas, get used to them. That is why I told you 5 minutes of Vivekananda per day and your days will be different. Then, no, not this, this one. Bhagavad Gita, what does it tell on mind control? अब mind management study कर रहे हैं हम. You must get some ideas from this also. Bhagavad Gita is in a way the essence of the Upanishads, the essence of the Vedas. So what does it say? See, it prescribes two basic disciplines for mind control. One is Abhyas and one is Vairagya. Now you must understand these words correctly. Abhyas is the workout of conditioning mind along positive lines. For you, this is what Abhyas means. And Vairagya, what does it mean? It means to rewire the inner circuitry of emotions through Vivek, which means you don't have all sorts of negative emotions bundled into a complex. आपकी विवेक शक्ति के द्वारा आप ऐसे इमोशंस चूज करते हो जो which are good, which are noble, which will bring good to others. ऐसे इमोशंस को चूज करना है. That is वैराग्य. It is in your mental capacity to choose what you will think, what you will feel. See, life is a matter of choices, isn't it? Your life is your choice. What you choose, accordingly your mind will be. Accordingly you will live. So this is what, see, Bhagavad Gita जैसा ग्रंथ भी for mind management it is prescribing this. अभ्यास करो, practice करो, it will condition you in a positive way. And ये वैराग्य, which means strong sense of discretion between what you should do, what you should not do. How much you should do, how much you should not do. This is important for any life, you know. For it to fully bloom as a complete life, it is important for it to exercise this discretion. You have done it many times, इसीलिए तो आप यहाँ पर हो, और भी उसको exercise करते जाओ. Then you will develop life further. Growth will be there. Otherwise you can end up anywhere, isn't it? इसीलिए ये सब शब्द दिए गए हैं. Then you also have two powerful ideas from Vedanta for mind control. Why I am giving you this is, I told you there is a connection between yoga and Vedanta. Vedanta आप तभी समझोगे when the mind is very steady. तभी कर पाओगे वेदांत को. So through yoga, if you manufacture this, just now you are in a steady state of mind. You will understand these ideas much better. देखिए, I will put to you a question. Vedanta is all existential inquiry. सिर्फ inquiry के द्वारा आपके स्वरूप का परिचय दे रहे हैं आपको. So they ask you, you tell me, are you conscious of body or is body conscious of you? You are conscious of body, no? Body is not conscious. See, now I raised my hand, I am conscious of my hand is not conscious of me. Right? I am speaking, I am conscious of my speech. So what is it that is conscious of this? I am conscious of my thoughts are not conscious of me. Isn't it? इसका मतलब क्या है? Which means you are apart from both this body mind mechanism. Because you become conscious of them, they are not conscious of you. So you are the subject, supreme subject, which sees these as objects. You have this capacity. अभी अभी आपने वो धारणा में you objectified something, a spark of light, and you saw your thoughts, isn't it? Your imagination, you felt it. So you have this capacity to objectify body and mind, which means you are quite apart from them. See, this is the first question I have put there. Am I conscious of body or is body conscious of me? Am I conscious of thoughts or my thoughts are conscious of me? Obviously, you are conscious. So, who is being conscious? That I is your awareness. You, the awareness, acknowledge the thought process. Through that, your identification with body and with the world of objects. So, you are always aware, occasionally identified with your thought process, but assuming you are your thoughts, assuming, it is pure assumption. It is in your own experience, you should check it out. Vedanta koi badi philosophy nahi hai. It is existential inquiry and experience, which means the nature of your existence you are exploring. So you can't say it is this religion or that religion. Religion hi nahi hai yahan pe. You are trying to find out the nature of your existence. The fact is, you are conscious of your body and mind. You are conscious of the happenings in your mind, which means you are not the body and mind. Something in you acknowledges all this. You are the, इसीलिए कहते हैं, the self or the Atman, pure consciousness, functioning through body-mind complex, and because of lack of this kind of investigation, you remain identified with it. इसीलिए ये होता है ना, only being body conscious, it happens only because it is a strong assumption with you that I am only that. It's assumed. It is not the real nature of things. It is not the fact of your existence. Naturally, it will not bring you your fulfillment. What is not true will not work. Satyameva jayate. Because you are the self, only self-knowledge fulfills you. Try as you may. Senses and mind will give you very limited experience only. तो इसीलिए understanding this much, I am the witness of all mental activities, hence I am unaffected by them. I am not even my mental problem, not even part of the problem. I am totally separate and hence I can solve the problem. Any problem, anything happen to you, this background knowledge should be there. I am the awareness that animates this entirely. So once you have this sense of awareness in you, naturally, see how you see yourself, no? You see other people also like that. You will see the whole world like that. You will find solutions to your problems also accordingly. So अपने अपना ही परिचय हमें पहले होना चाहिए, है ना? अगर मैं अपना होम एड्रेस ही भूल जाऊँ, what's the point? So we have forgotten our home address. This is the whole problem actually. So Vedanta यही है, giving you your home address, telling you who you are. देखिए वहाँ और एक question है, do you find body in your awareness or awareness in your body? Tell me, don't look at the answer there. You should tell me the answer. Do I find my body in my awareness or do I find awareness in my body? You always will find body in your awareness. मेरे awareness में I acknowledge a body, I see the body, I perceive it, I can work on it, I perceive my thoughts, I can work on my thoughts, isn't it? It's all happening in my awareness. तो हम कैसे समझ बैठे कि I am the thought and the body and nothing to do with awareness. It's only due to lack of investigation. Vedanta यही है. See, if you have a sparkling intelligence, this will strike you like anything. कि यही तो चीज़ है. I find the body in my awareness. I find the world in my awareness. And not the vice versa, not the other way around. तो इसका मतलब है, so I am the awareness that precedes body and mind. है ना? So always you will find body and mind only in your awareness. So understand all, these are Vedantic ways of understanding who you are. If you, I have given you only two, like this there are so many, just to give you an intellectual conviction and an intuition about your true being. तो अगर आप ये stand ले लो ना, mind control will be easy. Because I am not the thought. I am not my stupid thinking and all sorts of erratic emotion. I am not that. इसीलिए मैं उसको control कर, because I put a distance between the two. Isn't it? तो यही बात है. That is why all these, this is also technique of mind management. Are you seeing? जो आपको आपका परिचय भी दे रहा है. Both it is doing. See the nature of yoga. The mind in yoga is, when I watch and not participate, I control the mind. When I control the mind, I can use it as I want. है ना? तो इसीलिए योग कर्मसु कौशलम. Whatever you do, you will reach perfection in that, if the mind is in yoga. Don't think yogi means he ran away to Himalayan cave and sitting there. Yogi means one who does perfect work, absolutely committed, one pointed. जो भी करता है उसमें successful हो जाता है. That is a yogi. He gained that capacity from that meditation, but came and applied it in the world here. वो योगी है, वो कर्म योगी होता है. तो you will all be कर्म योगीस. है ना? उस माइंड को यहाँ पर अप्लाई करना है. In your studies, in whatever you do, so that you excel. Excellence is the mark of IITians, isn't it? You must not fail in that in the name, with the excuse of yoga. Yoga is meant to bring out that excellence. So use it like that. Yoga, the very definition is karmasu kaushalam. Whatever work you do, when you excel in that, it means the mind is in yoga. So the yogi's mind, its characteristics are, it does not vacillate. इस तरफ उस तरफ ऐसा करूँ वैसा करूँ, no such thing. It is very, very pointed, purposeful. It is free from all negativity. It is still and tranquil, but intensely aware. It develops immense capacity for knowledge and work and is successful everywhere. See, this is what I want for you. इस ज्ञान को लेकर ये state achieve करना है. You must have real achievement in life which fulfills you and satisfies the world. It will come through yoga, naturally. Because yoga takes you to your own being, does not lead you away from it. Now I would just like to dwell on model of development based on the human personality paradigm. See, all this that we are studying in this particular course, how relevant is it in the present context, and how exactly does the model of development, how is it affected by the human personality paradigm? So this is of practical value, especially to researchers when they are trying to see whether any model, is it relevant to our study. And we are studying the human personality in terms of an in-depth study of human personality, and finally we come to the fact of pure consciousness. So how is this relevant to human progress? Now if you want a really good, safe, happy world to live in, it goes without saying that we must have very good individuals dwelling on the planet, isn't it? Now how do you change a human being? How do you make better him? So this is a model for that. What this model tells you is, just focus on the image which I have given there. See, the image is a trichotomous structure of the human personality. There is a body, there is a mind, and there is the core consciousness that animates the body-mind complex. Actually speaking, It is in your consciousness that you find your body and mind. So, the diagram is not perfect. Obviously, it is in consciousness, in the Atman, that you are going to find the body and mind. It is in your awareness that you find your body and mind. But this is a model to show you this is the nature of the human personality. So, if you want to change a man, obviously you must change his sense of himself. This one thing is enough to change his prakriti, jo kehte hain. It is enough to change his mind, his attitudes, his feelings, because when he has an exalted version of himself, identity for himself, he will naturally have an expanded consciousness. So, this is what this model is trying to say. As long as I think I am only the body, only the pleasure of the body will be the aim of life. Isn't this pretty obvious? When I start thinking I am only the body, then only material gains for the body will become the goal of my life. So, we will have a purely material civilization. When I start thinking I am the mind, then thoughts, higher intellectual development, all this will become my priorities. And naturally, we will have a knowledge society. So, you see how this is how the civilizations have grown. Ultimately, if you analyze it from the human first person perspective or the psychological standpoint, it will come to this, that what you consider yourself to be, you will create the world around you like that. And if you think you are the spirit, you are the Atman, you are pure consciousness, essentially, which animates this body and mind complex and helps you function as an individual being. If you start thinking like that, naturally your consciousness will have it won't have very strong small borders. It will be an expanded consciousness. This is where values come into life. I will start thinking of you as I would think of me. Your experience, I would empathize with it. I would get into your shoes and try to experience what you feel in yourself through this method. So, you see, this is the starting point of empathy and compassion. Please understand why we say values have a spiritual basis is only because of this. It is in an expanded consciousness that you are able to feel what the other person is feeling by just getting into his shoes. Empathy, the source of empathy lies here in a unitary consciousness. So, this is why we say that the spiritual paradigm, what I mean to say is the spiritual aspect of the human personality paradigm will make for a society of values. As long as I think I am a little individual, I wouldn't mind exploiting other individuals. As long as I think I am only the body, only the material gains of life will be the priorities of my life. It is only when I understand my own consciousness is what animates other bodies and minds also. So, the human being, the other human being, there is no other actually. But whoever appears before me will appear like me in another form, me with another name. And this makes for a tremendous, you can say, expanded consciousness and a model of tremendous growth. So, I will naturally become unselfish, I will naturally become inclusive, I will learn to feel for others as I feel for myself. So, all this that we talk in terms of values, you know, values cannot be actually taught, they can be caught by a personality who really radiates that kind of a consciousness. So, ultimately speaking, if you want to change the world, you must change the human being's awareness of himself. And that is why this model of development, where you identify yourself with the core aspect of your being, becomes very important. Now, see, I have put there on the slide what exactly is the human being, the jiva, according to Vedanta. Please try to understand this. The light of pure consciousness reflected in the mind, which is called the antakaran, is called chidabhas. It is the light of awareness that pervades the buddhi and percolates into the mind and body complex. It generates empirical awareness, our sense of being. This is technically called the jiva, the entity that designates itself as I. So, when I say I, this is what we mean actually. So, you see, naturally your hand will go to your heart because that is what you are. At the core, if you analyze, your personality is about pure consciousness functioning through this body-mind complex. And it gets reflected in your intellect, your buddhi, generates the sense of awareness, and that is why you feel self-aware, and through that kind of an illumined intellect you are doing all your physics and chemistry and everything else. Every other form of study begins after that, but essentially you are of the nature of pure consciousness. If this sense of deep and wide, big identity comes into our life, naturally you will learn to be inclusive, because the other person is the same consciousness in a different body and mind. This will be the perception. So this is what makes for a model of development. In today's world, really you can see this, most civilizations which have collapsed, there is a book called Collapse by Jared Diamond, you can go through it. Many civilizations have collapsed when they took up a purely material view of life, just satisfying the body. How long is the body going to last? So then what is the real nature of my being? What outlasts this body frame? This becomes an important question. In fact, this is the science of consciousness. Because of the fact of death, we understand the seriousness of this. You will feel it intensely at some point or the other in your life. Just now you are too busy with your studies, but when your mind is relatively free, this will become a very deep, prominent question in your mind. So then this is the model of development based on the human personality paradigm. The more we dive into this in a clear state of mind, the more you will understand this will make for real development, real growth, not just in terms of material gains, not just in terms of GDP, but in terms of a really developed human personality which is compassionate, which is inclusive, which is kind and can go along with everyone. And if we had such individuals populating our planet, do you think we will have wars? Do you think we will have this amount of violence and negativity in our atmospheres? Will we exploit the earth in this measure if we had such individuals? So you see, your model of development is directly connected with what you think yourselves to be. This is what I want to say with this slide. So we will end today's session here, and we will continue with 2 more sessions are there. We will continue then. I will end it here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.